Who do we have here? The head of a mourning dove sitting on a stick nest in an apple tree in my own backyard. Look at the subtle beauty of the mourning dove. This bird has a tiny head relative to the size of its body. It has a fairly stout, broad body and a really long pointy tail that you can't quite see right now. It also has a narrow, slightly drooped bill. And check out its eye. It has a really interesting eye with a blue eye orbital. That's the skin that surrounds the eye. And it's a relatively big eye, too, for birds. So here it is in this little wild apple tree right in my backyard. I'm about 25 or 30 feet away from it, and I've been watching this bird. There it is, perched up right above that first split of the apple tree, right in the middle. Found a good spot to tuck away its nest. And it's in this little orchard area, in a fairly open area next to my house. So I'm Phil Brown with New Hampshire Audubon, bringing you another nest video from my backyard. Let's take another peek. So mourning doves are a really interesting species. They're related to rock pigeons. So in this part of the country, in the Northeast, we really only have the rock pigeon and the mourning dove when it comes to the family of doves. Look at the dove blink every once in a while. This dove is unlike many of our other backyard songbirds, unlike many of the birds in our area, in that it only lays 2 eggs. So a more common strategy for a larger bird is to lay fewer eggs. However, the doves can take advantage of the timing of an earlier part of the season and get nesting underway in less favorable conditions for general bird species. They could have multiple broods, so they can have up to 6 broods in a single year, which is an incredible amount of productivity if they raise all those young. They don't, though. They feed a lot of other predators, such as ground predators that might climb this apple tree, aerial predators once the young are out, blue jays, which fall into that category. Blue jays are efficient nest raiders. They'll go for eggs and nestlings when the birds aren't around, sometimes even chasing birds off the nests. But this dove, it's doing just what a dove should do. It's sitting completely still on its nest, and it's not moving at all. You may have startled a dove from the side of a road or an open area or your own backyard. Doves fly at the very last moment. They think that we don't see them, even though they may be sticking out like a sore thumb sometimes. So that's a tactic that also ruffed grouse will also employ that tactic, startling the unsuspecting hiker alongside trails maybe. And the explosive sound that their wings make when they take off, much like that of a pigeon or a grouse, is also designed to scare a potential predator away. So lots of interesting strategies that every bird species has. Doves are a super common species in much of the U.S. They're estimated to be about 350 million mourning doves in the U.S. That's about as many as another species, us. So lots of mourning doves. They will come into your backyards. They're a common backyard feeder bird, especially in the winter. They'll come into cracked corn, millet, and they mostly feed on the ground or on a platform feeder. So if you want to attract a dove, usually an open area is best. I'll pan around to show you that they've chosen an area relatively in the open here compared to surrounding wooded sites, and that's typical of a bird like this to be on the edge. They'll also sometimes pick spots that aren't so great to nest, such as under the eaves of a house, in a gutter. So doves do some interesting things, but they seem to make it work. There are 350 million of them after all. So a very common species all through the US, and they're year-round. They don't migrate. So go out and see a mourning dove. It shouldn't be too hard to find one, no matter where you live, as long as you have a little bit of an open area around you. So that's about it for now. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this nest video. There'll be a couple more coming. Hope you are able to connect with some nesting birds in your own backyard. So check out www.nhaudubon.org for more information on how to stay connected to nature during this time. Check out our Facebook page and the New Hampshire Audubon YouTube page for more interesting videos too. I'll see you again tomorrow.